This week on Today's Homeowner, we're digging up some cool kitchen tricks to make the busiest room in the house look, function, and feel better. New or old, you'll find something for your kitchen, so stay right here. There's almost an endless list of ideas that you can use around your home to make your kitchen more functional, convenient, and a lot more attractive. Now this week we're looking at a lot of different types of kitchens and size kitchens to give you some of those ideas. Now we're right in the middle of a kitchen that was extensively remodeled a couple years ago, and the renovation included all new countertops, all new appliances, and all new manufactured cabinets. And because the homeowners chose to replace all the cabinets, they were able to choose exactly what they wanted and all the accessories that went into the cabinetry to make it a very functional kitchen. Now, it's also very organized. Look at some of the things they chose here. This is just a simple divided drawer for flatware. Pretty inexpensive, but certainly keeps things a little more organized. And then for the pots and pans, this is a pretty neat idea. Pegboard in the bottom of the drawer and the different little pegs that move around that will allow you to keep your pots and pans organized and they won't rattle around so much. Here's another kind of a specialized idea that the homeowners had, is to use this as a little baking sheet tray that rolls in and out so that you can see everything you have, but you can tuck it right out of the way. But something I'm seeing in a lot of kitchens, and I particularly like a lot, plate rack. And this one makes a lot of sense because it's located so close to the dishwasher. You finish washing the dishes, you take the plates out, slip them right in the rack. It looks good and it's very convenient the next time you need a plate. Now, I know a renovation like this can cost a lot of money, but you can still make some significant improvements to your kitchen and still stay on a budget.
You know, remodeling your kitchen is an exciting project, but if your budget doesn't call for tearing out all of your old cabinetry, here's a trick for you. Instead of tearing it all out, just replace your doors, right?
It's so easy to do. It's as simple as measuring the opening width and the height, add about an inch. You're ready to order your doors, and you've got a lot of choices too, from different species of wood, cherry, hickory, maple, oak, to different finishes. You've got nice stained finishes, you can get paint finishes, you can even get raw doors and paint them yourself.
That's right, because that's exactly what we did. Another thing that you can do is change your style. If you want a cathedral look at this one right here. I love the rope around here that's embedded, or you can just get something very traditional, very standard. So again, your imagination is your limitation. And I like this too. You might even want to consider getting some doors with glass in them so that you can display some really nice glassware.
And it really is very easy to install. They usually come pre-drilled for the hinges, so 2 screws, they're installed. Now, that's changing the kitchen, the look of it. If you want to change up some space, you need a little bit more of it, well, here's an idea. Get that microwave off the counter.
Yeah, typically a countertop microwave is around anywhere from 100 to 150 bucks. Well, why not invest another 50 or 100 bucks? And you can get a type that can be installed underneath the cabinet, and you've just added so much more counter space. And if your counter space is at a premium, that's well worth the money.
Now keep in mind, you need a little bit of space between the oven and the bottom of the microwave. You may have to modify a cabinet like we had to do recently. One other thing, ventilation. It will replace your stove vent in many cases. Will it be compatible? Usually it is. Keep this in mind though, you can get some that recirculate the air so you don't even have to worry about hooking up a vent.
One of the big advantages of installing all new cabinets in your kitchen is you're able to decide exactly how tall your wall cabinets can be. Now the thing is so many houses, the cabinets stop right at 84 inches or 7 feet tall, and you know, there's a lot of available space above that. Here's how we utilized it here. We extended the cabinets up a little bit more, but still had room for a nice decorative facade on top, crown molding and the seam molding there. But other ways that you can utilize that space, one is to remove any of the soffit or the drywall return that many houses have, or it may just be an open area. Either way, make sure your cabinets are secured well to the wall. Then take a nice decorative galley rail, which is a type of molding, and put it right on the front edge of your wall cabinets, and that makes available that space up there for decorative baskets or vines or just extra storage. Now another way that you can gain that space is something we did on a project a couple years ago, where we had our cabinet maker create cabinets that look just like the original cabinets. They slip right on top, a little molding there right on the seam, and no one would know that it wasn't original, but the homeowners ended up with some very good storage. Even though it was a little bit of a challenge to reach that area, it was perfect for holiday kitchenware or just some of the things you have in your kitchen that you really don't use a whole lot. So either way, some valuable space up around the upper part of your kitchen. Hey, I wonder what Joe's got for us this week on our simple solution.
If you've got a faucet that has a weak or intermittent water flow, you might suspect there's a problem with the faucet or maybe the water pressure. But here's a cure that works almost every time, and you don't have to call a plumber. First, remove the aerator, which is this fitting that screws into the bottom of the faucet. Now what the aerator does is it mixes water and air to create a nice even flow. If you ever wonder why you need an aerator, that's why. Without one, the water just comes shooting out. Now if you look closely at the aerator, you see it's full of small holes and vents on both sides. And that's what allows the air in to mix with the water. But these little holes and vents also collect mineral deposits and sediment. They become plugged up, and that's why you don't have a good flow of water. So the cure is to simply put it in a cup and add some white vinegar, which acts as a cleaner, and there's enough acid in there that'll dissolve the deposits, the mineral deposits on the aerator. So now you just let that set overnight, take it out, rinse it, and replace it. And now for only a few cents worth of vinegar, you solve the problem without having to call an expensive plumber.
Now more than ever, homeowners are thinking green, and so are we. And each week you'll see the latest in green products and get tips on saving energy and reducing your carbon footprint on our new segment, Thinking Green. We'll show you what it means to be green. This week we're looking at a number of can't-miss kitchen tricks, and we're in the kitchen of Lisa Wages. She and her husband Carl did some very innovative things in their kitchen to do a little upgrading and to solve a few problems. What are some of the things that you did in the kitchen that worked out really well for you guys?
Well, one of the things we did was put this granite insert in, because I do a lot of baking, and it's nice to take hot stuff off and put it right on the granite and use it that way, and it blends in with the rest of the ceramic tile in the kitchen.
Now, did you guys also do the ceramic backsplash and the rest of the counter?
We did. We laid the tile ourselves.
Well, this worked out pretty good, though. It's a nice little accent, but also very functional with all that baking that you
Right.
did. So. Perfect, perfect. Now, I also understand you had an innovative way to handle a few extra holes you had in your ceiling.
Yeah, we did. We, just to come up with some kind of unique idea, we put these wooden plates, kind of like a medallion, I guess, to cover up some flaws in the ceiling. And this one over here, there was a light that had a swag, and it was off-centered, so to avoid fixing the hole in the drywall, we just put up our wooden plate.
Boy, that's not an easy task at all when you have the popcorn ceilings to try to repair just a
Right.
small hole here and there. So that's a great idea. We're going to check back with you in just a little bit, because I understand you have a solution for homeowners that need a little extra countertop space. But right now, let's check in with Jody, who's in the workshop, to show you how you can make a simple plywood door look a lot better.
Do you have boring kitchen cabinet doors? Well, I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to jazz them up. Now, what I've done is I've taken some measurements on my existing door. I came in about 2.5 inches all the way around, and I made my marks. Now what I've done is I've measured these marks, and I've transferred them to a piece of molding. Now I've cut all of my pieces of molding, and I've also stained them. Now what I'm going to do is dry fit them into place on my marks, just to make sure that everything still lines up. Now here's a tip for you. Keep in mind that when you put stain on bare wood like this, it will actually cause the wood to swell a little bit. So you may have to trim it down a little bit, but using a nailer, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some attachments right here. You don't need too many, because again, this is not bearing any weight. You just want to hold your trim in place. Put that there, and that one there. You just want to make sure that your nails and your nail gun are not too long so that they don't poke out the back side. And look, our cabinet door now has a whole new look.
Here's a kitchen trick that has much more to do with function and convenience than it does with looks. This clever homeowner took a little used storage cabinet and turned it into a place to keep the trash. Now you can find this feature on custom-made cabinetry, or you can make it yourself. In this case, the homeowner made basically just a shallow drawer out of 1/2-inch fir plywood. The joints are just butted and screwed together. In the front, you'll notice there's a really tall panel that got screwed to the back of the cabinet door. And then on the side of the drawer near the bottom, he attached drawer slides. These are 22-inch long drawer slides. And the other part of the drawer slide is mounted at the base of the cabinet. You just put it in there. If there's any shelving in there, you have to remove the shelving. And then you see at 22 inches, you have room for extra bags and for an average sized trash can. Now you can go to a home center store and buy wire rack hardware that'll work similar to this. But the advantage of this system is you don't have to open up the door and then pull out the trash. Here, it's all done in one simple motion.
Boy, that turned out nice. So you started with the base cabinet and then you built the rest of it on.
Right, we were needing some extra counter space, so my husband built the top and added this section on to what we already had. And we just kept the wooden theme throughout the kitchen with the bull nose, and the legs matched the table that he built also, and it turned out real nice.
Oh, it sure did, even the backsplash there. Then I guess when you used the ceramic tile here on your counters and backsplash, of course you extended it there, but you guys were pretty ambitious, not just regular 4x4 tile, you put the inserts and all of that. How challenging was that?
It was a challenge, but you know, the outcome was good.
It really does look nice. Now, see, you have the stool under here. Does anyone ever really use this space?
My children use this to eat snacks or do homework or, you know, give me advice in the kitchen while I'm cooking, so it's a good space.
That's perfect. I can see where that was well thought out, and again, countertop space is just so valuable.
How many times have you been working on a project and just needed an extra set of hands? I think Dremel developed this new vise for people who need a multi-purpose clamp that's really easy to set up, take down, and fits almost anywhere. This attaches onto a surface up to 2.5 inches thick, which means even my kitchen table is fair game. And because the jaws are cushioned, you can tighten delicate items without marring their surface. The clamp has a ball and socket design that lets it rotate 360 degrees and tilt at 50 degrees, so you're bound to find a comfortable working angle. The quick release button means easy and fast operation, while the removable jaws mean that in no time you've got a standalone bar clamp if you need it. The V-grooves help secure round and odd-shaped objects, while the holder turns a rotary tool into a stationary sander, grinder, or polisher. Secure a project nearly anywhere and have free hands for more control. A pretty good deal if you ask me.
Hey, we're about to look at a few more can't-miss kitchen tricks. Now, one of the most popular videos we have on our website and one of the most common emails we get is how to install a kitchen backsplash. These homeowners did a great job on their backsplash, and they didn't stop with just putting simple tiles up. They cut different sizes and shapes to really give it a distinctive look. Also, all the materials they used on the backsplash, same materials they used on the countertop, so boy, it blends just perfectly. Now, you can go a step further than this and actually use a mosaic type of approach to create a scene or a feel for your kitchen, maybe a nautical theme or maybe the basket of fruit. And those type of kits are available all over the internet as well as at the home centers, and very simple to install. You just take one piece at a time, and before long you've created your own little masterpiece. Now, ceramic tiles are a great choice for backsplashes, but you also can use wood.
So let's talk backsplashes. I've seen tile, tin, stainless steel, plexiglass, something I rarely see but really gives a kitchen some character, beadboard. And here's the creator in this kitchen. This is Lisa Brody. Lisa, tell me about the inspiration behind beadboard.
Well, we have an old house and we wanted something that looked authentic, and we always have kind of dreamed of having a house that looked like the Waltons. And so we just thought that the beadboard backsplash would be the way to go.
This looks great. Now, really, I had to have really opened up this kitchen with that white.
It really did. What we found is that, you know, because the house is older, there was not lighting underneath the cabinets. And so once we put the backsplash up and painted it that bright white color, it really brightened up our whole kitchen.
How difficult was it for you?
I felt like it was very easy. In fact, I did most of it by myself, did it all in a day with the exception of the painting. All the installation was done in one day, and then the next day we painted and did all the caulking.
Even got that old country feel with the trim work.
We did. In fact, this trim actually came, it was the facing around a door in an old house in a nearby town that the house was being torn down, and it was, you know, just an older house, and we thought it'd be a great thing to use.
So reuse, it's even a green kitchen.
Yes.
Very nice. Hey, right now let's catch up with Danny and Joe. They're in yet another kitchen with another cool kitchen trick.
Joe, I'm not sure what you're building now, but it's not even matching the kitchen.
No, it won't, but hopefully it will soon. The homeowners are interested in putting in a kitchen island, and I'm not sure it's going to fit in this space. So what I did is I mocked up a full-size model of an island using these cardboard boxes.
Looks like you've been to the furniture store.
Yeah, furniture store, appliance store is another great place to get boxes. Now, the National Kitchen and Bath Association recommends 42-inch space between countertops. And you can see here, I'm almost a good 8 or 10 inches short, so I've got to go that way with it. And you really should maintain these distances, otherwise the traffic patterns will get very clogged up. Now, I can see already that this is going to be too big for this space. It's already encroaching in the hallway.
With that width, sure has.
Yeah, so give me a hand. We're going to shrink down this island. I cut the box so that we can just pull it together.
Oh, okay.
See, now imagine doing this with cabinetry or
yeah.
plywood boxes. I mean,
Or even a piece of tape on the floor just won't give you the idea of how big this is.
This really shows very clearly what the island's going to look like in your kitchen. All right, see, there we go. That's very close right there. Now here you've got plenty of walking space between the refrigerator. You should have probably about 36 inches or so. And it's the correct height, as about 36 inches, so it gives a real feel for what the island's going to look like.
This is really a good idea, and probably also a good idea to leave it here for a couple days to make sure it works out in your kitchen.
Okay, so you've tried Danny and Joe's box trick. You still don't have room for an island. Not a problem, because some of the best ideas are some of the oldest and some of the simplest. Right, Lisa?
That's right. Our family doesn't really have enough space to have an island that's stationary and stays there all the time. So we have just found using this microwave cart for when we have guests over is a great way, to have extra space. We use it for serving. Sometimes we'll have either the plates and the napkins on it, but usually we just pull it out and put our dishes out on it, whatever we're serving for the night.
So it's a temporary island, temporary fix sometimes. Hey, you know what would be great right now?
Tell me.
Popcorn. Have you got popcorn?
I do.
All right, let's have some popcorn and enjoy Danny's Thinking Green.
There's nothing green about paying bills unless you pay them online or the company provides recycled envelopes. But there's another envelope you should take a close look at, and that's the thermal envelope of your home, which is your living space. It's important to have proper insulation, otherwise you've got a real problem with that envelope. Up to 40% of a home's heat loss or gain is due to leaks. Insulating the attic is only the start. You need to make sure all gaps around windows and doors are sealed. The areas around plumbing pipes as well as heating and cooling lines also need to be sealed. And don't forget about any electrical switches and outlets on exterior walls. You'd really be surprised at how big of an energy loss they can cause. Simple gaskets can take care of them, and it'll be one of the cheapest improvements you can make. There's an awful lot you can do to make a kitchen more useful and enjoyable. You can add new cabinet doors or dress up the ones you have. You can customize the backsplash for the look you like or customize the counters for the way you cook. Even the garbage can is fair game when it comes to cool kitchen tricks. Improving your home's curb appeal helps the look and value. Next week, a look at a big transformation.
Parmesan, Parmesan.
Oh.
Parmesan, Parmesan.